Hey everyone, welcome back to 12 Happy Hens here today. Haven't done an update on the chicks in a couple weeks, mainly because they're living in this little coop which requires crouching to get into. Just wanted to show you the setup in here. As you can see, it's this kind of little wooden coop that they have, and the important thing is that they are living in this little box, kind of sort of circular. The idea is that there aren't any corners, or at least not as many as, you know, if we were to let them have the full run of the place, because little chicks are very susceptible to piling up in a corner and trampling or suffocating other chicks without meaning to. But the heat lamps are here, food, water, and the important thing is that they have newspaper on the bottom rather than the traditional shavings. Kind of do that because it helps avoid problems with their legs developing in the first few or couple weeks of life. But this is just kind of their existence right now. We have a mixture of buff Orpington chicks, barred rock chicks, lavender Orpington chicks, and a couple black Australarps in the back. They're a little less than 2 weeks old right now, but have been living in here that entire time. And one thing that I didn't really take into account was the effect of this. Not sure if you can see it, but this is a plastic roof for part of it, and it really heats up this coop much more than I ever imagined. These lamps aren't even on right now because they get too much heat. If they are, and actually we had to put this big plastic tub over most of it to shade them, but it's still pretty warm in here. Currently, let's see, it's about 83.7 degrees is what that says. So as they've gotten a little older, they've been eating more feed. I have to give them fresh feed 3 or 4 times a day as opposed to just twice. And then of course making sure they have a good supply of water is important. One thing you're gonna want to do with these chicks at this stage of life is change this newspaper a lot. It's definitely due for a change. But this is just kind of the setup that we should be looking for with little chicks. And just for anyone who hasn't raised them before, I think one other important thing to know is that if you're going to do this in the house, which I know a lot of people do, I usually do that. This is the first time I've had baby chicks in an outdoor setting, actually. But if you're going to do it in the house, it's important to know that chicks actually, from the get-go, really, they produce this dust. It comes off their bodies. And I'll try and get close enough to show you, but you see these lamps. They have this kind of coating of dust on them, so notice that's what the lamp is supposed to look like, and the rest of that is just this dust that's all over everything. So something to be aware of if you're planning to raise them in the kitchen. Yeah, that's the update of the chicks. They're doing well. Living out here seems to agree with them, and they look forward to making their way out into the world soon. I tend to do this setup in the box with the newspaper for about 2 weeks before they're allowed out into the world, because that's the temperature, or that's the age, excuse me, at which they can regulate their body temperatures a little better, and they don't need it in the 90-degree range the entire time in order to survive. So that's the update, and I will see you next time.